All right, let's get into it. So when I think about the part-time poker players that I meet, there are three big problems that they struggle with when it comes to improving as a poker player. So problem number one, you have come to this program because you want to learn to train and play like the pros. So it would be pretty easy right now for me to jump straight into poker strategy. But there's actually something that we need to do first, that if we don't nail it now, it's actually going to slow down your progress, and we don't want that. So a lot of poker players have what I refer to as overwhelm. They don't know where to start. They don't know if what they're working on is even going to help, if it's the right thing. And sometimes, or maybe even quite a lot of the time, they don't know what they don't know. So that can be, all of that, pretty overwhelming. The number one fear when it comes to learning anything, especially in poker, is that you are working on something that you have no confidence in that's actually going to get you to where you want to be. So if you don't have confidence in what you're working on, you're going to see a result from that, then no amount of poker strategy, content, training videos, anything like that is really going to help. What will end up happening is you'll just avoid putting in the work. Eventually you're just going to stop playing, and after all of that, you're just going to quit. And we don't want that. We want you to fall in love with this game and fall in love with the process of getting better every single day. So we've got to get you really confident first on what you're working on, and we're going to do that by first identifying your pre-flop and your post-flop leaks. So we have to make sure that what you are working on is definitely going to help you improve. And secondly, we want to do it in a way that is efficient and sustainable and fun, because otherwise you're going to just feel frustrated and not want to continue along this path. The best part of this is that you can actually start to feel excited about identifying your own leaks and seeing where you're going wrong and identifying your mistakes, because what happens is as soon as you start seeing them and seeing where you're going wrong and how easy it is to fix it, well, for me, I mean, that's really, really exciting, and hopefully you're going to see how exciting that is as well. All right, so secondly, the second problem that tends to come up when I speak to part-time poker players is that they have either poor study habits or actually no study habits at all. So we're talking here about habits and routines and systems and frameworks to make sure that you're getting the most out of the time you have available. And then finally, we are going to address your weak fundamentals. So you've probably played a ton of hands of poker by now, and sometimes you find yourself in a spot where you're really unsure what to do. What I want to do is to change all of that so that you have fewer spots or fewer moments when you're struggling and you're sort of agonizing over those decisions. That's what we don't want. I want your fundamentals to be so strong that you feel really confident in your approach to the game and playing spots really, really well. So those are the three problems that we're going to address. And quite frankly, in 12 weeks, if we can get you super confident in identifying areas for improvement, we can get you studying in the right way, and we can get you working on your fundamentals and developing really strong fundamentals, then honestly, life is going to be pretty good. When we built this program, we had one goal in mind. And of course, that goal is to get you training and playing like the pros. To build a training system that you can rely on to get you playing really, really well. Before I tell you more about what's coming up, I want to remind you that this is not a standalone course where you sit and watch hours and hours of generic videos covering concepts that may or may not be relevant to you. The whole idea here is we're going to target your leaks as quickly as possible and then make a plan to fix them. There is, of course, video content in this program, but it's going to be focused and specific to the leaks that we identified together at the start. All right, so let me tell you more about the program. The first thing we want to do if we're feeling overwhelmed is that we want to know where to start, and to be confident we know that we're working on the right thing. So that means creating some kind of clear roadmap, of course. Instead of poor study habits or no study habits at all, we want effective study habits and a system that gets you seeing progress every single day. And then finally, rather than weak fundamentals, we want to help you develop strong fundamentals. We want to make playing super easy and fun, and no sort of agonizing, tough decisions. Of course, there are going to be times when you have really tough decisions in tournaments, but the more we can focus on developing really strong fundamentals, the fewer of those moments are going to come up, and that's going to really set you up for a massive improvement in this game. If we can get you playing really solid poker over the next 12 weeks, we're going to be doing really, really well. Okay, so let me just lay out our curriculum. On the clear roadmap side of things, the very first thing we want to work together on is identifying pre-flop leaks and what effect they're currently having on your game. In other words, what are you doing right now that is costing you EV? This exercise is gonna make you crystal clear on which preflop areas to focus on, so you're not wasting time on other things. And it's going to make study significantly easier, and of course, overall, it's going to make your poker game much, much stronger. We need to know, of course, what are your biggest preflop leaks and how fixing them is going to help your game. Second thing then, linked to that, is we're going to look at post-flop leaks and identifying your post-flop leaks. If anything, these are costing you more EV than pre-flop. So module 2, we're going to look at identifying post-flop leaks, and then overall, then we're making sure that we're identifying pre-flop leaks and post-flop leaks. We're then going to focus on fixing those leaks and showing you how to fix those leaks. So that's what we're going to do first. Hopefully you are cool with that. I'm not going to drip the content out week by week. I'm going to give you access to all of this straight away. So it's up to you what pace you want to go through this. If you want to do this leak finding exercise really, really quickly, then that's fine. But just make sure you do a thorough job. And at the end of the day, these are your leaks. They're sort of unique and custom to you. So we want to make sure that we are definitely identifying the right ones, so we know what to work on next. So next up then, in terms of effective study habits, we want a really simple process. Our main job, I guess, here is to get you studying in an active way and to become an active learner, to take responsibility for your own development, your own learning. So I really want to set you up for success. This is how we're going to do it. I want to get you to focus on things that you can control. So, what you study, when you study, how you go about it, all of those kind of things. So you want to become an active learner, and we'll show you more about that as we get to it. Next up then, we've got a system for helping you drill post-flop spots, a great app. You may well have already heard of it, that we've been using. We've been using this app to quickly hone post-flop skills. Absolutely superb. And the great thing here is that it gives you instant feedback. So that's something that you don't really get in game if you're making sure that you're not being results orientated. So getting that feedback that is completely unbiased is, really, really important. So that's what we're going to do to implement the idea of purposeful practice as well. And then finally, we're going to show you how to put the reps in off the table, making the most of key tournament poker software so that you can see real improvement. This is then the bridge into developing optimal strategies and helping you develop super strong fundamentals. So first, we're going to compare your current strategies and show you where you're going wrong and how to fix it. And the skills that you learn earlier on in identifying pre-flop, post-flop leaks is going to be really, really useful here. One of the key things that I want to help you with and to teach you is this sort of like this idea of continuous improvement. We're going to talk about that a little bit in a moment, but it's much better for me to show you how to identify your own leaks and how to fix them, rather than just say, this is your leak and this is how to fix it. Because in the future, you're going to have different leaks. And it's really important that, once you've gone through this program, you can feel confident that whatever comes up, you'll be able to identify your leak and know how to fix it. Then we're going to look at pre-flop ICM to make sure you know the key differences between chippy V strategies and ICM strategies, and turn those deep runs into more final table finishes and top 3 finishes. And then finally, as I mentioned before, we're going to tie it all together and show you how you can make continuous improvements. So you're going to be able to identify your own leaks and fix them, study in the right way to get the most out of the time you've got available, and continue to develop this really great strategy.